people are not going to understand when you want more out of life, right? But wanting more out of life does not make you selfish, right? That's the core truth. Your growth, your ambition, and your purpose are not things you should feel guilty about, right? You are not meant to spend your entire life living and settling for less than what you're capable of. I'm Nate, the owner of InterSale, where 30,000 customers have chosen InterSale, and I hope you become the next one. If you like cool, inspirational t-shirts, be sure to check out InterSale.com. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with somebody that needs it. All right. And so I got a great show for you today on I keep wanting to say the So What You Want to Talk About podcast. That was the podcast with my wife that we did a few years back. But this one is the Sharp Mind Show. Right? I just keep wanting to say the So What You Want to Talk About podcast. But anyway, I got a great show for you on the Sharp Mind Show, and it's called The Truth About Wanting More Out of Life, right? And the truth is, you're just going to be misunderstood. Like, that's just the way it's going to be, right? People are not going to understand wanting more out of life. Why can't you be satisfied? You have everything you've ever wanted. Like, it doesn't make any sense that to them, why you would want to push to have more, like it doesn't, but wanting more, it doesn't make you selfish, right? Growth, ambition, and purpose is not something you should feel guilty about, right? You were meant to be more, right? And so everybody has those people in each generation that were meant to be more, that were meant to do better things, right? And so what does wanting more actually mean, right? Let's define it. Wanting more means wanting to grow mentally, financially, and personally, right? Wanting freedom, impact, and fulfillment, refusing to stay comfortable when you can do more, right? And so why do people feel guilty about wanting more? Number one is the fear of judgment, right? And so I've talked about this before, like, I'm literally, just finished the second year of med school. I'm studying for the USMLE and I'm broke. I'm out of money. We moved to Atlantic Beach and I'm walking to a beach shop to try to feed myself, right? Every day. And I come up with this brand and I'm sitting here thinking like, oh my God, what are these people going to think? That I'm thinking like, oh, they're going to judge me because I want to open a t-shirt brand, right? But it was like, why did God send me here? Why am I walking? Right? Why am I walking to this beach shop? What am I here to learn in this beach shop? And what I was here to learn was I was here to learn about t-shirts. I was here to learn about branding. I was here to learn about the impact of, where your shop location is and, all that kind of stuff. The second thing people feel guilty about is leaving people behind, right? And so, the truth is, when you're pushing for more, time is going to be taken away from people that you love, right? And so you fear leaving those people behind. Like those people, they settled in their life, right? Or maybe their greatest accomplishment in life, is over. And, they're never going to push to do something else, right? And so you're going to leave those people behind. And so you fear that because you love those people. You want those people to come with you, but they're not going to level themselves up to a level where they can come with you, right? And so, even the closest of people won't do it. I have friends that I talk to them about investing, and they will have $100,000 sitting in a bank account, and won't invest, right? And so, a person that does invest is going to leave those people behind. You say you can still love them and you can still be around them. But, when it comes to, oh, we can go get box seats at the game instead of, we sit in the jungle at ECU. I love the jungle though. Honestly, it's worth the experience to watch it from the jungle. But, yeah, you can go afford the season ticket and be the season ticket holder and your seat be empty, right? And so people complain about that all the time at ECU, how the seats are empty, up in the stands because the person that bought those tickets didn't even come, right? Because they bought the season ticket pass, right? Um, but another reason why people feel guilty about wanting more is because they're being told to just be satisfied, right? And so just be satisfied, just be satisfied, just be satisfied, and so the truth is, you have an inner conscience, right? You have what they call the inner voice of God, the Holy Spirit, a lot of things you can say. And when you say just be satisfied, that inner spirit just, it cringes on you, right? And so, no, I shouldn't just be satisfied with X. I'm here to make a huge impact on the world, right? And that's to inspire the entire world and make the world a better place, right? And so that's what I'm going to do with InserCell, right? And so, and then obviously the last one is obviously greed and ungratefulness, right? And so people from your past, maybe they've done stuff for you, maybe they haven't, right? But they're gonna think you're greedy by, not buying them lunch or whatever it is, when you're actually working on yourself and stuff like that, right? They're gonna feel that you're ungrateful for what they've done for you in the past when they won't execute and get better for your future, right? And so that's why most people feel guilty when it comes to wanting more, right? And so what is the cost to you for settling? Number one is going to be regret. Like you say, when you look back on your life, your 80-year-old self, 100-year-old self, whenever you're on your deathbed, or maybe you die instantly, whatever it is, and you're up in heaven regretting things, right? Or you're coming back as a ghost, whatever you believe. Um, you know, you don't want to sit there with regret, right? You don't want to be that person that all they're thinking about is what could have been, right? And so that's why even when you make a mistake, it's still worth to go make the mistake, because at least like, okay, I wasn't good enough. There's a lot of people out there that don't know if they were good enough or not. And so they sit there at the end of their life with regret because they didn't even try, right? And so when you go after making yourself a better person, when you go after making a big business, when you go after helping a lot of people, you're not going to end your life with regret for trying to do those things, for trying to make yourself better, right? For trying to grow yourself, right? Second thing is frustration, right? And so you're just sitting there over and over, living the same day over and over and over again your whole life, right? You're feeling unfulfilled, and you, of course, are having wasted potential, right? And so deep down, you were capable of more, right? And so you want more out of life, right? And so the key point here is gratitude and ambition can exist at the same time, right? And so you have a growth conflict, right? You appreciate where you are, but you still want to improve your life, right? And so there's nothing wrong with having gratitude. Lord, thank you for everything I got, right? Thank you for giving me the ability to push for more, right? That's healthy growth. That's not greed, right? So society often rewards comfort and predictability. The average thinking keeps people stuck, right? So how do you fix your mindset? How do you use affirmations to do that, right? And so you can pick my affirmations up for free in the description below if you want. It's 100% free. I don't even take your name for it. But, you read those affirmations morning, middle of the day, and at night, and your mindset will change and get you unstuck. And so most people are not going to relate to that, to your ambition, right? And so how do you pursue, like, this is really the topic of the video, is how do you pursue growth the right way? Number one, you stay grounded and be grateful, right? And so You make sure that the people that helped you along the way knows how much you love them, how much they helped you, um, and that you need their help to continue, right? You're going to focus on the purpose, on the bigger picture, right? And so I've talked about this before, how it's not just about me, it's not just about my family, it's about my neighbor's family and their neighbor's family and the community, the city that you live in, and then the county that you live in and the state that you live in, right? And so think about like public schools right now, right? Public schools are considered completely trash, right? And so you got kids that can't read, they can't write, that don't know history, right? That doesn't understand science, right? And so when you think about it like that, think about like, okay, my purpose is to fix all of this stuff, but it's by doing this one thing. And this one thing is to get this brand right here, Insercell, known, right? And so your mindset's going to shift from I should be satisfied to I'm grateful, but I'm still growing because I'm going to help myself, my neighbors, my city, my community, and my county and my state, right? Because it's unacceptable for children not to get a good education, right? And you doing this can fix this problem, right? Because you can extract money from all over the world so that the teachers get paid what they deserve, right? So that they aren't satisfied to their purpose is to teach the children of the next generation so they don't think that, socialism is the answer, you know, robbing from the rich to give to the poor is the answer. They sit here and think, hey, you know, I can make a difference today, right? And so that's what you want your teachers to believe. But if they don't believe, you know, if you don't believe in the mission from the jump, you say you see the plan and you don't believe in the plan, it's not going to work, right? And so that's what's happening in the school system. And so that's, what can change when it comes to what you can change, right? And that's how you grow, right? You grow. All right. So how does this apply to me, right? Number one is content. I want my message to reach more people, right? So you have a bigger purpose in your life, 100%, right? It's not just about go to work, do this little thing that you do every day and come home, right? The message has to reach more people, right? That you have a purpose. It's a bigger purpose. It's a bigger mission. It's not just about you. It's not just about your family, but it's about your neighbors and everything else, right? And so that's really what's missing in society right now is you don't care about your neighbor, right? The elderly couple next door, you don't care about them, right? The the couple that's about to have a baby next door, you don't really care about them, right? And so that has to change, right? Your purpose has to be bigger than just yourself, And so me just settling and not going after a bigger purpose is the reason that your neighbors are struggling, right? Is the reason that your city struggles, that baby over there has to be on food stamps, or it has to be on Medicaid because you couldn't do enough, you couldn't make enough content, you couldn't reach enough people so that will change, right? And so for business, for Insercell, growing that brand and vision, and for life, wanting more freedom, wanting more impact, and wanting to fulfill your purpose, right? Growth is a part of that responsibility, right? And so here's the real advantage, right? The real advantage is most people settle too early, right? So you finally get that decent job with benefits, and that's it. They stop growing, they stop learning everything, right? And so they go, years and years and years without learning anything, right? And so if you continue to grow, you create a completely different life, right? And so I challenge you today, identify one area where you're playing small, raise your standard immediately, and stop apologizing for wanting more, right? Own that ambition, right? And so I'm gonna run through rapid fire hooks real quick. I do rapid fire hooks to reiterate the message of the video. Let me know in the comments down below if you like them, right? And so wanting more is not selfish, it's growth. You can be grateful and still ambitious. Both can exist, right? Settling feels safe until regret shows up. Think long term. Stop shrinking yourself to fit average environments. Grow anyway. Your ambition is not the problem. Ignoring your ambition is the problem, right? And so I leave you with this closing line. There's nothing wrong with wanting more out of life. People are not going to understand it, and that's okay. Don't, you can take the time to explain it to them, but you don't have to, right? You say, I'm grateful, but my purpose is bigger and I'm going to do more, right? The problem is when you ignore that potential and settle for less of what you're capable of becoming, right? So there's nothing wrong with wanting more. The problem is really when you ignore your potential and settle for less, right? And so I'm Nate, and I'm the owner of InterCell, where 30,000 customers have chosen InterCell, and I hope you become the next one. So be sure to check out intercell.com if you like cool, inspirational t-shirts. Check out my wife's book, Dylan and Davina, The Adventure Begins, available on Amazon. If you have nieces, nephews, or children of your own, be sure to check out Dylan and Davina, The Adventure Begins, written by best-selling Amazon author Meredith Dillon Johnson. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with somebody that needs it. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.